It is Julia Budd, who is returning to action at the 2023 PFL World Championship, although I'm not sure the fight you wanted it to be, of course, I guess. I know you probably wanted that $1 million final, so I guess what's that like? I mean, I know you're excited to be competing. It's a big fight for sure, but not the one you wanted to be in with the finals. Is that a little bittersweet? What's the preparation like?
I mean, yeah, I would have ideally been fighting for the $1 million tournament this fight, but this one is something that like I definitely wanted. Last year we were supposed to fight, and this is just like perfect timing now for me. So
this is a big one. Like you said, it's November 24th in Washington, D.C., of course, ESPN Plus pay-per-view. You, the former Bellator champ, Kayla Harrison, the two-time PFL champ. It's a fight that we all wanted to see from the time that you came over, right? So I guess, what were your thoughts when the PFL said, you know what, to heck with these tournaments, to heck with how we're doing, we're putting this fight together. What were your thoughts on that?
Well, I started messaging Ray, kind of bugging him a bit right after my last fight against Chandrova. I was like, hey, I hear that Kayla needs a opponent this year. So I kind of started asking for it right away because I didn't want to lose out on this opportunity again. Like, I want to fight the best of the best. I want to fight everybody before I retire. And I feel like she's been a dominant champion. Like, she was so dominant up until last year. And I feel like, yeah, I'm excited. So these are the kind of fights that I want to be in. I want to be go against top people in the sport. So,
well, I mean, nobody can doubt that. I'm amazed every time I look back at your track record. I mean, first of all, you're not a big talker, which I think maybe sometimes because you're not a huge talker, maybe people don't give you the respect. But right out of the gate, Nunes, Jermaine, Ronda in consecutive fights, that's nuts. But then you go on to fight like Kunin, Cyborg. I think you might as well throw Pacheco in there now with what she's accomplishing and how good she's doing. So do you ever get frustrated maybe people don't give you the respect that you deserve? I mean, I don't know. That might be the top resume in the game as far as literally fighting everybody that's been at the top.
Yeah, I think that it's a personal choice too. Like, I don't have the big manager. I don't talk a lot. I just kind of do. I get in there. I'm really in this because I absolutely love martial arts. I've dedicated my life to it. I want to fight the best of the best. And yeah, I didn't have the ideal build up fights. I got thrown right into the deep end, but that's kind of my life story. And I've grown and learned, and I've been in there and I've learned so much over the years. I feel like the fight this year with Pacheco, I was able to showcase new aspects of my game, and just kind of I just feel like I grew a lot. Like, last year was tough, obviously, because it was 3 losses in a row, never happened in my career, but I was able to go okay, I know what the organization's trying to do too, use my name, use my history. And I was like, you know what, I might as well use that as well and show, learn, grow, obviously. And I get to decide, I'm driving the bus, you know what I mean? It felt like I was kind of brought in. Okay, I see kind of what's happening. You want to use my name from Bellator and from my history to kind of use me. And I'm like, well, hey, do it. I'm going to just show that I'm constantly improving, and I'm going to go out on my terms. So
respect. And obviously, I mean, that's unfortunately the way this business works sometimes, right? You got to take in it. So let me ask you, because you touched on, I mean, the success you had in Bellator, 9-1 over there, amazing run. You come to PFL, maybe a little frustrating, not getting the results necessarily that you want. How would you describe it? Can you classify what your time has been like in the PFL? Has it been frustrating? Has it been eye-opening? I don't know. What has it been like for you?
Well, last year was frustrating because I went up a weight class. So I went up to 155. The girl misses weight. We're kind of the fight week. That week we were like, what did she walk in at? 180? And I'm like, holy shit. I'm walking around at 156. That's my I'm like, okay, this is going to be a big size difference. But I'm like, again, let's freaking do it. Let's just see, and I learn a lot in there, but I break my orbital. Then I'm 3 weeks or 4 weeks out from that fight that I'm supposed to fight Kayla. I'm training, getting ready, and I'm something doesn't feel right here. And my face kept the lightest taps on my face. I was like, something's not right. And I could feel my nose moving and painful. I was just in a lot of pain. I get my results back, broken orbital. I'm like, fuck, I'm out. And then, so I feel like it's been frustrating, but it's also been awesome. And maybe this was allowed me to have a lot of like self-reflection. Okay, before I decide to hang up the gloves, what do I want to do here? I moved down to Arizona for like 5 months this year, trained a lot with Fight Ready, added it, brought it back to Port Moody to my team at Gibbs MMA. So I feel like it's been really good, but it's been painful, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Both physically and emotionally, I'm sure.
Yeah,
You touched on it, and you've said it a couple times before I hang it up. I mean, look, you're clearly at the top of the game. You're clearly in peak physical condition, but you are 40 and you can't fight forever, right? So,
yeah.
have you started to think about? I mean, obviously this win would be massive, but are you thinking, hey, let's do 2024 season, or are we talking about some one-offs, or what does next year look like for you?
I want to do the season. The way I approach things is like, I want to do it till I get it right. You know what I mean? Like, and next year, ideally, obviously, like God willing, you never know what can happen. This is a crazy sport, but as long as I feel good, injury free, I'd love to go into that season and come out with my hands raised next year. And I've had a couple years of experience there and kind of learn the ropes and but obviously this fight is like, I've been asking for this. So this is the fight that I'm really looking forward to. And then after that, go into next year. So.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, this is a big one for us. So, all right, so Kayla, interesting, right? Because she's coming down a weight class. You haven't bounced between weight classes, but you understand it takes a little bit of difference, and she hasn't fought here very frequently. So, do you think or how do you factor that in? Like, when you're breaking down and game planning opponent, I mean, do you even factor in? Well, I bet she'll be a little bit less powerful when she's cutting weight, or do you let yourself even think that the weight class is going to change anything whatsoever?
No, I like to like almost build my opponent up into like this like monster that I need to like prepare for. And that's kind of I'm expecting her to be super strong. She cut weight and made it and looked great against Courtney King, I think her name was, back in Invicta. So I know she's done it. She was talking earlier in the summer about maybe even cutting to 135 with somewhere that I read. And so I think that it's been, I don't expect her to, I expect her to come in at her very best because I know how fueled I've been from past losses. And she's got that championship mentality. So I know she'll come back strong.
Yeah, you don't win gold medals, right, without having that type of championship mentality. I like the fact that you say you like to build your opponent up, but I do wonder, like, you look at the performance against Larissa Pacheco. I mean, no two fighters are the same, and you're not the same, right? I mean, but do you look at a performance like that and go, oh, okay, there's the hole right there. Oh, yep, see, here's the issue. Do you look at that way, or can you not? Because, it is two different fighters and two different fights.
Well, I just remember when I fought Jermaine, like this was a long time ago, but what I know about this sport is when somebody's so dominant in like a certain area or like for a long time, Larissa showed some, so did Marina last year, but I feel like you get a lot of like, everybody's kind of like, wow, you're so like, and then you kind of like, I knew that with Jermaine with her kickboxing, like she's so freaking good. And I think that can actually be, create holes in people's games too when they're like so dominant in one area. Larissa showed some, Marina showed some, but I'm my own fighter, and like I fought Larissa different than Kayla fought Larissa, and I feel like I beat Larissa. Like I really do. I turned off the commentary. I watched that fight. Like, okay, I lost this fight, and I'm like, how the fuck did I lose this fight? Like I was like, I won 10 and a half minutes of this 15-minute fight. But I mean, she looks from like, because she plods forward and it looks like so much is happening. And I'm like, whatever, it is what it is. I was like, I learned about my game in that fight too. Like on the ground, stand up, wobbling her. I was like, okay, trust in yourself a little bit more here. And anyways.
I love it. The time in Arizona. I mean, look, you've been at this for a long time. Like I said, fighting at a high level a long time. I guess how valuable was that? And is it challenging maybe to go into a new gym at this stage in your career and try to like learn new things or accept new things?
Yeah, totally. It was like humble yourself. You know what I mean? Like you're going to go in there. You're on the mat with like so many like great wrestlers, great coaches, could kind of like take a lot of the elements of the training, the coaching, and use it and bring it back to my team at Gibbs MMA, like that I've been with since day one. So I personally choose to train with a small team. My husband, my teammates there, and but it was like something that I knew I had to do for my own growth, and it was excellent. I have no complaints. Besides, it was really freaking hard. It was hard and uncomfortable, and I'm a homebody, so I don't like going. It was hard being away from home for 5 months, but it was worth it every day. So.
Slight different in outside environments between your home and Arizona.
Yeah,
huh?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, listen, I mean, it's amazing. I mean, your commitment to martial arts is clear, and the fact that you're even willing to try to reinvent and learn at this stage in your career speaks volumes. So, I mean, you talked about it. Big win here. Kayla Harrison, one of the biggest names in sport. Next season, is that where you're kind of drawing the line right now, or do you think like, maybe we'll keep doing this for a few years?
I think I want to just play by ear. Like I gotta see how this has been going really good. It's been challenging. I gotta say that, because it's like I got freaking wrestlers on me like every day. Like, it's a different type of camp to prepare for. It's not exactly fun, but it's been awesome, and it's been eye-opening for me, for my own skill set, and things feeling like they're really coming together. So that being said, I want to go out there. I want to showcase, have the best performance of my career, and like really put everything together November 24th, and then go back to the drawing board and like talk to my coaches, my team, and see what we want to do. But next year, like ideally, if I were to say it, it would be like kick ass November 24th, go into next year and win that tournament or that season, win the season, and just have like, a stellar, like, performance after performance. But that's a dream.
And maybe knock out Larissa on the way.
Yes, definitely get that back, and that would be it. And I'm preparing, like I've been preparing and growing and learning, like, to do that. You know what I mean? Like I feel like I've been putting the work in, so that is totally attainable, and it feels good.
That's awesome. Well, I'm looking forward to it. Listen, I mean, your body of work speaks for itself, and this is just another big name. This is the fight we all wanted to see from the time you came over. Now we're getting it, and I'm looking forward to it. It's November 24th. Exactly. It's on ESPN Plus pay-per-view. Julia, thank you for the time, and we look forward to seeing you in Washington, D.C.
Thank you. Take care.